Well, then would you take the opportunity to call for Hamas to allow the Red Cross in to see those hostages?
Absolutely, and also to Israel to allow the Red Cross to access Israeli prisons that have turned into mass murder of Palestinian prisoners and rape that has been very documented. And I have never seen a parliament except the Israeli Knesset debating if raping Palestinian hostages is legitimate or not. So we want to see the Red Cross in Gaza, we want to see the Red Cross in Israeli prisons, and we want to see the ICC implementing their arrest warrant in Israel and everywhere else. Then the full force of the law must be applied. So how do you apply it? Why do you apply the law? You apply the law also not only justice for the victims, but deterrence. You want to deter that mindset. That mindset. And therefore sanctions, arms embargo, accountability. Accountability. People are being so resilient of the idea that Israeli leaders should be held accountable. We hear Western leaders, politicians saying that the ICC was not established for countries like the US or Britain or Israel. Seriously? So the ICC was established for the brown and the black and the yellow, not the white? This is a joke. This is the beginning of the end of the international system we built. That's why people of the South, people of the East, people everywhere are losing faith in that international system. That's why that system is under the biggest stress test you can imagine. So the answer to your question, honorable friend, is just apply the law. Put Israel under the law, not above it. And yet you hear Western politicians every single morning about shared values. Come out and tell us, come out of the closet and tell us, what are these shared values? That relationship needs to be visited, looked at, and then Israel needs to put exactly where it should be. If Israel wants to be a member of the UN, and you saw the Israeli ambassador to the UN shredding the UN Charter, literally shredding the UN Charter. If Israel wants to be part of the UN, part of the community of nations, part of the region, it cannot exist because it bombs the region. It has bombed Lebanon, it is bombing Syria, it's bombing everywhere. It exists because the region accepts it. And the region has offered Israel a formula of acceptance. That formula is very clear. Resolve the Palestinian issue, end your occupation, and we will normalize you and the relationship not only with 22 Arab countries, but with 75 countries. Do you know how old that model is, formula? More than 25 years. Since 2002, 23 years. And it was completely disregarded. Because Israel wants to bypass the Palestinian issue. Israel wants to be normalized without resolving the Palestinian issue. Why am I going so long with this? Because I think the problem is not just Israel. Because, Israel is like any other state. If you can